What's going on, guys? Kalamazi here. My plane for Texas and the Race the World First starts boarding in 4.5 hours, and I am recording multiple videos. Here I am. Today we're going to be talking about the Affliction buffs that came out yesterday, and also taking a look at an Affliction heroic Kel'Thuzad kill that, well, I did, my guild had a couple days ago. So in case you guys weren't, I guess, aware of this or whatever, there were a handful of class changes that went out yesterday. Beastmastery Hunters, unique or specific abilities are buffed for Beastmastery Hunters and Marksmanship Hunters, however. Survival Hunters, specific abilities for Mages and Shadow Priest, and par for the course, Blizzard has no idea what to do with Affliction, just aura buff. Now, we've been talking about Affliction most likely getting a buff for a long time now, at least single target wise, and I've also talked a lot about how I feel about it's hard to buff Affliction in the current state that it's in, because you can't buff dot damage, because then you have a profile similar to what we had in Legion, where all our damage was based around dots and we were good at single target. So we were essentially twice as good as any other class in the game when it came to two target fights. Look at Coven of Shivara, there was like all Afflocks and Shadow Priests and a few Boomkins. So I assume that wants to be avoided. Obviously Rapture is too strong because they nerfed that and nerfed Malignancy, so you can't buff either of those. Then you can't buff Drain Soul or Shadow Bolt because you have Withering Bolt, and that's been nerfed a crazy amount as well. So what do you buff? There's nothing left to buff. I don't know what Blizzard needs to do with Affliction. Like, every type of ability you could possibly buff to increase its single target damage can't be buffed for certain reasons. I've enjoyed playing Aff. I don't want it to be like the only go-to spec for the tier, but it's hard because you can't really buff anything because everything's been nerfed or deemed too powerful. I suppose you could make Dark Glare a more relevant cooldown, which would actually be potentially a good change, but that's a pretty substantial change also in the middle of a raid coming out. So I expected an aura buff. Unfortunately, 5%, well, it doesn't do anything. It's nowhere near what we needed. We could have gotten a 10% buff and still been behind destruction when it comes to single target. Here is my sim when it comes to Aff before the nerfs, or before the buffs, I'm sorry. This is my character playing Synergy in single target in 9.1. I'm at about a 5.9k sim. Here is my character with the 5% aura buff applied. My Demonology set sims for 7.4k. It's just life, I guess. I don't know. Affliction is... I enjoy this version of Affliction a good bit, but I have no idea what's going to happen with it. I can almost guarantee it's overhauled in the next expansion again because Rapture is too strong, and I'm really not sure. But either way, what this does do for Aff, and getting into the KT part of the video, Aff is not good at single target, as we know. The good thing, though, is that Aff is very good when it comes to Fortified Weeks and Mythic Plus with Sow the Seeds. It's also very, very good when it comes to spread council-based cleave, with multiple targets being alive for a good portion of time, whether it be like Wrath Consumption-based fights like KT, or just like council-based fights. Now, this is indeed a buff to Seed of Corruption, so the Seeds is going to be even better in Plus. It's already insane, so there's that. That's going to get out of control at some point, too, as well. But some logs on Kel'Thuzad had been popping up over the past couple of days, from heroic, some from normal. They fixed the fight, so Shadowburn, Wrath Consumption ads actually die now and give those effects. So I said to myself, let's try and play Wrath Consumption Affliction on Kel'Thuzad, and the results were actually really, really impressive. I'm going to have the actual kill video in this video as well. If you want to skip a little bit ahead, there should be a timestamp for you. So the TLDR on Affliction buffs, not enough. You could have given us a 10% buff and it would have been about 6,500 DPS, which is about 200 lower than Destro Sim still. But then you have Seed of Corruption scaling to an insane amount, and it's the best AoE in the game, and no one even comes near us. So I don't know what Blizz wants to do with Affliction. I don't think Blizz knows what they want to do with Affliction. And it's not like me being like, I don't know, rude or anything. It's just I don't think they have any idea. I don't have any idea. This is a spec that is very, very, very hard to tune, and I don't know how they're going to do it. But with that being said, Affliction's good at council fights and very, very good in Wrath of Consumption fights. Now, this is our heroic Kel'Thuzad kill with the logs of it. I died at about 7:13. I got the raid soak effect and we were sacrificing it. I had to run out of the raid and die. It's unfortunate because we lusted quite literally at 7:07. So I popped my Dark Glare, ran out of the raid and died. But if you zoom in to the point where I died, Affliction's putting up some pretty good damage. We Dark Glared right here. This is also coming out of an ad phase, so we don't even have like Wrath rolling, or it hasn't been rolling for a long time. But the damage is very, very real. Let's take a bit more in-depth look here. So here's my actual damage breakdown. This is from the poll to basically where we died. You'll see my talents and things in the top left corner of my screen here whenever the actual video comes up. We played Writhe in Agony, PS, Haunt, Dark Soul, Drain Soul. We also played Karain here because Wild Hunt Tactics, First Strike, very relevant on a fight like KT, which also sort of takes advantage of Aff's damage profile a little bit. The normal single target, or I guess regular gear set that I have, but we played Wrath of Consumption. Corruption and Agony grants you a stack of Wrath, increasing damage by 6%, stacking 5 times for half a minute. 30 seconds is a very long time for an effect like this to be active. And on a fight like KT, you can chain this pretty much almost the whole time. If it might drop for a tiny little bit in the ad phases, it's right back up when you go back to the other phase. It's very, very strong. Going to my damage breakdown here. Overall damage, Agony dealt 25% of my damage. Rapture being 20.5. Corruption, UA, Dark Glare, which is surprising in itself. Soul Rot, Singularity. Actually, this is Observer. I'm sorry. It's late. Dark Glare is right here in the toilet. There you go. Phantom Singularity, Haunt, Drain. So look at the Agony damage here. Wrath and Agony is so strong in this fight because if you go to my buffs, look at our Wrath and Consumption uptime. It's 90%. And you're just rolling a perma 5 stack here. Now, you might be assuming, yeah, that's really impactful. That's very relevant, but it's probably all excessive ad pad, right? Because you're dotting a million things that can just die slowly while you're kiting the boss around, all of that. Well, if you go to the damage breakdown here on Kel'Thuzad, look who's first. Both the Afflocks by a pretty substantial margin, and I died. I literally died when we lusted. Aff is very real in this fight, and this is before the 5% buffs come in. Once again, this is a great example of where Aff can be good, and also why having dot damage as the majority of your profile with a Wrath kind of effect around, also why it was very good in Legion, is a very scary thing for Blizz to mess with. Now, everybody loves Legion, I get it, but Aff on KT with Wrath looks very, very strong. Destro does a decent damage and will have more ad damage depending on the build you play, a bit more control on glacial spikes and things like that. But Aff looks very, very real in this fight. You don't go down to the phylactery, but locks don't really go down in the first place because there's too much mobility or too much movement and stuff. It's a very, very good Wrath fight. Unfortunately, it's probably the only fight this tier you're going to play Aff on, barring it being buffed a bit more, which is a possibility, but Aff looks good on KT. Overall, the buffs, not going to make us play Aff and every fight this tier, but it's a step in the right direction. It might make our single target damage maybe acceptable in Mythic Plus. TLDR, Aff, Wrath is very, very good on KT. If you guys have any questions or want any weak auras, drop them down below. Weak auras are available on my Twitch. If you want to swing by and grab them, there should be a link somewhere here as well. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in Texas in the Race the World First. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Welcome back, dude. How are you? Hit him a scuffed opener. I blame you for it.
Thank you.
Hey, Trey, get on this.
Pushing very fast here. I have to soul rot this little boy. Jeez. At least we get some value. That was a fast push. Holy cow. Saw that one coming.
Just one of these banshees, like, what do you move to the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah,
You have to kind of like
hitting that banshee.
move early because these things cast so much.
They don't want to risk cells. Yeah.
Tank it.
Okay, move to the safe spot.
This is gonna be bacon and code. And a shadow burst.
Okay, move forward. CD's here.
Tank it.
I'm gonna refresh early here.
Here's the wood.
Next up's gonna be A-Train, Cat, and Red.
Kill these spikes. Feel free to knock the voted away.
Tank it.
Okay, stop on boss, stop on boss.
Stop and boss
Go
because
to
just because he's ads.
far one.
You know, you can chill in like 30 CDs too. Helps. Alright, that's good.
Off field, there's nothing we
All
can
right,
do.
we're not gonna have to use this phase. I don't think it's gonna be close. We're pushing faster and faster. I'm not gonna do it better than this thing. I got kicked out again.
Okay.
Move to the other one.
Move to the one.
I'm just gonna get the
See
hole
one
coming
less
out of this.
person down there at the moment. I think it should be fine though. Last time it was.
Yeah, don't hit banishes.
Hit on the high one.
Remember, triangle away, and the other thing is suicide when you.
Tank it.
He just doesn't make the first set. He's got.
Green needs to be out.
Green out. Okay. Just trying to hit green here. Like. Kill this
This is
3.
bacon, Nether.
Don't hit the
Circle's
circle.
real high.
Circle, not the
Yeah.
one. Single tag.
Circle instead.
CC these devoted. Cause they killed.
Tank it.
It's too delayed.
Okay, don't.
Okay.
Oh,
Don't hit
kicks,
the other
kicks,
one.
kicks.
Meteor out spooky. Yep. Get the kicks.
Over here by where you started.
Ashen.
Keep interrupting.
Okay.
Kill range
Kind of
on
far.
these things, yeah, kill them. There's one really fat, it's getting cast off. Oh, good sounds, good sounds. Just careful where you are here. You can throw me a res up. Can you, actually we need Spooky, he doesn't have arc, right, so.
Correct. I'm other side of the middle thing though.
Go res Spooky now.
You pick up your thing, Nether before. If you die. Tank Ed.
I need like full redot here. If you're gonna lose Wrath stacks briefly.
Let's take
Yeah, we
it.
lost Wrath, but it's back up now.
Spikes, pretzel out, pretzel out.
A-Train, code.
Use it swap
Okay.
bots.
Kill
Late.
these- stop
No
the boss.
shot.
Kill the spikes. Kill the spikes, but don't be on the boss. Like, drag the boss out a little or something. Kill these, be in the raid CDs now.
I'll still help part.
Just chill for a
boss,
second
push
here.
boss.
Push boss now, push boss, quick. For the evocation. Okay, and just leave that spike. It'll just explode like sometime during this phase. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
There's like no redemption in this phase anyway, so.
We have Dark Glare here. I don't know. I think we need to hold for this.
Okay.
Or last time we come back up. I mean, we're a little off here. I think we just hold.
The other one though.
Yeah, stop on the Reba. Give him the other one.
I mean, it's almost coming up right there. Yeah. last and clean
Okay.
up all the ads.
Yep. Last CDs go. Clean up these. She's like not interruptible, it's fine. Get that out.
Of course, I'm the one
And
that's
see, we
sacked.
just, it's a DPS rush,
Of
just moving 6
course,
spots now.
dude.
It's as much
Of
cannon boss.
course. It can only make sense. What a great way to end the week. Of course, I'm the one that's sacked.
Immune, yep.
Kind of these corners are.
Yeah, we go first one.
We just got a new one in the square, I guess.
Wrath of Consumption.
Go all
This
the
is
way
going to
over
be a
here.
great YouTube video. Let's just mute them because I'm salty. Wrath of Consumption is a very real legendary on this fight. The damage you can put out. I died at the start of the phase, and we're still up there a little bit. Look at your damage here. I'm mind controlled now. Hopefully I can kill somebody. Wrath of Consumption. Agony does big damage. Rapture is there. Look at our uptime on this. We're rocking like 88% on Wrath here. It's really cool. It's really good. I am so sick of this raid week. The raid is great. I have had every mechanic on me on every boss, man. It's all right.
Right.
Because we're gonna loot a staff. You ready?
Whole phase.
Ready for
that's
this?
still, like,
We're gonna loot a staff. You ready?
Tackle all the
It's
boss.
normal. We
Here
can
comes the
clear all
staff.
these 4 bosses.
Here comes the staff. You ready for this?
I don't.
Is there a way to get out of
way to
here?
zone
Wait
out?
for a res, please.
Please res me.
Yeah.
There's no way to run.
Uh,
Oh shit.
Where is? Well, let's
This-
just go.
that goes to Sylvanas.
Yeah. Well, can we die and run back, or is it? Where does it respawn? Maybe.
Can we go
I'm
0
gonna
for
test.
9?
Hold on, I'm gonna die to Sylvanas test.
We can just throw stuff off the edge right here. Nether.
Sure.
This goes to Acres.
I've killed 9 bosses in this raid. In heroic.
Deathgate?
You
No.
go.
I haven't looted a single piece of gear. Blizzard, the system sucks. Please.
Spawn outside.